Under the Bodhi tree, where the Buddha sat in tranquil meditation, the monks around him waited quietly for his teachings. The atmosphere was serene, with only the sound of rustling leaves and the breath of nature filling the air. A gentle breeze passed by, carrying the scent of the earth and sky, as if signaling the awakening of wisdom. The Buddha slowly opened his eyes, gazed at the monks, and softly spoke. "Monks, today I will teach you 7 precious lessons, truths that will help you overcome all suffering and open the path to peace and enlightenment. These 7 lessons are not just teachings, but profound principles that will guide your hearts through the challenges of life." He paused for a moment, his compassionate gaze seeing through each monk as though he wished to impart peace and boundless wisdom into them. "Monks, each lesson is a precious gem, a key to unlocking the door to liberation. If you understand and practice these teachings, you will realize that it is within the trials and difficulties of life that we find peace. These lessons will help you clearly understand the nature of suffering and the way to free yourselves from it." The Buddha gently began, his voice calm but filled with authority. "The first lesson, I want you to understand the importance of letting go. When the mind is not burdened and the heart is not attached, you will no longer be tossed around by the whirlpools of suffering. The second lesson will be about inner peace, when you know how to keep your soul steady amidst all the turmoil." Each word he spoke was like a call to wisdom, drawing the monks into a peaceful and silent space where they could understand the secrets of life. The Buddha continued, and each lesson was gradually revealed, bringing light to the path of seeking truth. Lesson 1. Life is a unique journey. The Buddha continued, his voice gentle yet imbued with an undeniable authority. "Monks, life is a unique journey. Each of us walks our own path. In this lifetime, every path is shaped by the choices we make. Some seek joy in wealth, power, or material riches. Others place their faith in love, connections, and familial bonds. Yet there is one truth you must grasp. Though each path may appear distinct, all of them offer valuable lessons to us. Each individual's journey is incomparable to another's. A person who pursues wealth may amass great riches, but do they truly find happiness in their abundance? One who seeks love may experience warmth and affection, but will that love endure, or will it fade with time? These are choices each individual must make. Life has no singular path, no universal formula for attaining happiness. True happiness is different for everyone, depending on the values they cherish. Monks, when I observe the lives of others, I see that life is a series of choices. From these choices, we shape the values that define our existence. If we choose to chase wealth, we may become ensnared in the endless cycle of ambition and unfulfilled desire. If we choose emotional bonds, we may feel warmth, yet such feelings are subject to change and loss during life's trials. But if we choose the path of practice, the path of truth, we will realize that happiness is not something found externally. It is something already present within our own hearts. Therefore, monks, each journey is shaped by choices, and those choices must be made with wisdom and understanding. You cannot live another's life, nor can you live a life without reflecting on the consequences of each decision. Ask yourself every day, what path am I walking? Does this path bring me true happiness? The Buddha paused for a moment, his compassionate gaze resting upon the monks, as if urging them to deeply comprehend the significance of his words. Then his voice rose again, calm yet profound, resonating through the stillness of the forest, touching the core of every heart present. And so, monks, throughout the journey of life, you must remain ever mindful of your choices. Life is not a destination, but a continuous process, an unceasing flow of decisions and their outcomes. No matter what path you take, ensure it is one you have thoughtfully considered and clearly understood. You may live without wealth, without power, but you cannot live without awareness and wisdom. After another brief pause, the Buddha continued, his eyes shining with clarity. Thus, monks, seek the path of wisdom, the path of profound understanding of life's true nature. That path will lead you to genuine happiness, a place where the heart is unburdened and free from the torments of external attachments. The Buddha's words reverberated through the tranquil forest like gentle waves soothing the hearts of all who listened. Lesson 2. Caring for oneself. The Buddha gazed at the monks with eyes full of compassion, then continued his teaching. Monks, in the journey of life, one of the most vital truths you must grasp is the importance of caring for oneself, especially for your health. When we are in good health, we often fail to recognize its value. But when the body grows weak, when illness descends upon us, we come to understand that time is precious and health is irreplaceable. Therefore, monks, take care of your bodies while you can, so you may have the strength and clarity of mind to walk the path of practice and learning. I recall that health forms the solid foundation for practicing the Dharma. When the body is weak, the mind is affected, and it becomes difficult to maintain mindfulness and awareness. A healthy body fosters a sharp and clear mind, making it easier to absorb and apply the teachings I share with you. Hence, monks, treasure your health, for only when you are well can you fulfill great aspirations, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. Caring for oneself does not merely mean tending to physical health, but also nurturing the mind, protecting your thoughts and emotions from negative influences. Monks, there will be times in life when you face challenges, suffering, and turmoil. In such moments, if your mind is not properly nourished, you will easily be swept into the vortex of emotions, anxiety, and restlessness. Thus, while you are in good health, cultivate positive habits, nurture a pure, mindful, and loving heart. Health, monks, is not just a state of the body, but a harmony between body and mind. When the body is healthy, the mind finds it easier to remain calm and joyful. Conversely, if the mind is disturbed, the body will feel tired and depleted. That is why I urge you, do not only focus on physical well-being and neglect the care of your mind. Set aside time each day for meditation, to listen to your thoughts, and to cleanse your mind of negative emotions. Monks, while we cannot alter time, we can choose how to live and care for ourselves so that each day is filled with vitality. Do not wait until your body is frail and your health has deteriorated to regret not living fully. Each day of life is a precious gift. Live it in such a way that when you look back, you do not regret missing opportunities to care for yourself, both physically and spiritually. Life is not a race, but a long journey. On this journey, you need a strong body and a pure soul to receive and practice the teachings I offer. So monks, care for yourselves in the smallest ways, from eating properly and exercising regularly to maintaining peace in your heart. Always remember, health and happiness are not commodities to be bought. They are treasures to be nurtured daily. The Buddha's compassionate and affectionate gaze rested upon the monks, as if urging them to deeply understand the value of self-care and the importance of living each day to its fullest. His words lingered in the serene air, inspiring the monks to reflect on their choices and the significance of preserving both body and mind on their path to enlightenment. Lesson 3. Nothing is perfect. In this life, monks, one truth you must deeply understand is that nothing is perfect. Life is ever-changing, constantly in flux, and it is this impermanence that gives life its beauty and meaning. If everything in this world were perfect, unfolding exactly as we wished, would we truly appreciate the value of happiness, peace, or joy? It is precisely because of imperfections, challenges, and difficulties that we have the opportunity to grow, learn, and realize the worth of what we already have. When you look at life around you, monks, you will see that all things, all phenomena are subject to change and carry an inherent imperfection. Look at the blooming flowers. Each flower has its own unique beauty, yet none of them are absolutely perfect. Each petal, each dewdrop resting upon a leaf, holds a beauty that seems to lie in its imperfection, and it is this imperfection that creates the harmonious and wondrous painting of nature. Life is no different, monks. We cannot demand life to follow a fixed pattern. For every person, every situation, every event brings valuable lessons and experiences. If we only seek perfection, we miss countless opportunities to understand ourselves and the world around us. Mistakes, difficulties, and challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow. When we face imperfection, we learn humility and patience. We learn acceptance and how to let go of things beyond our control. Imperfection is unavoidable in this life, and it is also the key to living with ease. If you constantly chase perfection, you will feel exhausted, anxious, and restless. But if you can accept imperfection and view everything with an open heart, you will find peace and tranquility. Imperfection is not something to despise. It is a reminder that nothing in life is permanent and everything is subject to change. Remember, monks, nothing in this life is absolute. Every moment offers us opportunities to learn and grow. It is imperfection that drives us to seek completion and find serenity within. Therefore, instead of worrying about what cannot be changed, learn to accept and adapt to the changes. Do not let the imperfections of life tire or distress you. Embrace them as an essential part of the journey. Lesson 4. The value of inner qualities and sincerity. The Buddha slowly gazed at the monks, his voice deep and soothing like the sound of a bell. Monks in life, people are often caught up in the cycle of money, fame, and superficial things. But you must remember that money is not the most valuable thing. It is merely a means, not the end. What truly matters is not the things we own, but our inner self, the sincerity we show towards others, and the virtues we uphold. The inner self of a person, monks, is like a clear lake. If the lake is pure and still, it will reflect the light of the sun, the sky, and the surrounding mountains. But if the lake is muddied by desire and jealousy, it cannot reflect the beauty of the world. Therefore, what you need to do is keep your inner self clean and serene, so that all your actions and words come from sincerity and compassion. Sincerity is the foundation of all relationships. Think about it. A person may have many possessions, but if they are not sincere and do not treat others kindly, can they truly be happy? Money can buy comforts, but it cannot buy trust, love, or respect. On the other hand, a person with a good heart, who cares and is sincere with those around them, will always be loved and respected, even if they do not have many material possessions. Monks, sincerity is not something we express in order to be seen or praised by others. It must come from the heart, like an underground stream that flows continuously, quietly nourishing everything around it. When you treat others with sincerity, not only will they feel happiness, but you too will experience joy and peace from within. Do not let your hearts be clouded by greed or envy. Cultivate your virtues, like a skilled craftsman shaping each tool. A strong inner self will help you face all difficulties and challenges in life without being shaken. Virtue is something no one can take away from you, and it will always be the light that guides you on your path to liberation. Remember, monks, money may help you survive, but it is your inner self and sincerity that allow you to live a meaningful life. Virtue is the most precious wealth a person can possess. If you know how to cultivate, preserve, and share sincerity, you will create lasting relationships that benefit not only yourself, but also those around you. Lesson 5. Compassion and Tolerance. The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, his gaze gentle as he looked into the hearts of the monks before him. He spoke, "Monks, this world is a place where each of us is connected by invisible bonds. Every word, action, or even thought you have can affect others, whether you realize it or not. Therefore, always act with compassion and tolerance, for what you sow today will bear fruit tomorrow." Consider this. When someone is facing difficulty, your help, no matter how small, can be the light that illuminates their path. But such help must come from genuine sincerity, with no expectation of reward or any ulterior motive. It is like the cool rain falling on the earth. It doesn't choose where it falls. It doesn't discriminate between dry soil or barren land. Compassion and tolerance should be like that, monks. When you encounter someone who has done something wrong, do not hastily judge or criticize. We all have moments of weakness, times when we lose our way. What that person needs is not punishment or rebuke, but understanding and guidance. Be like the light of a lamp, not only illuminating the darkness, but also guiding those who are lost in ignorance. Similarly, when helping others, do not let your heart become burdened by calculations. The person receiving help does not need to express gratitude, for the most important thing is that you have planted the seed of compassion in your heart. Remember, true help is not measured by material value, but by the sincerity and care you offer to others. A compassionate word can save a heart that is breaking, but a harsh criticism can deepen the pain of the listener. Monks, use your words as sweet, refreshing water to soothe the suffering of others. Act like a skilled gardener, planting good seeds in the hearts of others so that the world becomes a better place. I will tell you the story of the potter. There was a potter who made a vase, and during the firing process, the vase became deformed. The potter did not discard it, but patiently repaired it, adding clay and shaping it again. In the end, that vase became the most beautiful piece he had ever made. Humans are like that. Sometimes they make mistakes and become deformed. But if you use compassion and tolerance to help them, they will have the opportunity to become better, even surpassing your expectations. Monks, this world is full of challenges, but it is also full of opportunities for you to spread love and kindness. Each time you open your heart to compassion, each time you forgive, you are planting a good seed in the field of your own blessings, and one day these seeds will bloom into flowers of happiness and peace. Lesson 6. Time and change. Time is like a river that flows continuously. Each passing moment is a part of what will never return. The life you have, whether short or long, is just a stop on this river. Therefore, you must learn to cherish every present moment, for that is all that truly belongs to you. Look at the leaves falling before you. They were once green and fresh on the high branches, but when the time came, they gently let go and followed the wind. It is not because they have lost their value, but because that is the law of life. Similarly, everything in this world, whether material, emotional, or human, is subject to impermanence. Change is not something to fear. It is an opportunity to understand that attachment only brings suffering. Reflect on this. If a person continues to hold on to the past, can they move forward? If your hearts are full of unnecessary things, do you have room to embrace new joy and happiness? Time never stops changing, and so does life. Learn to let go of what no longer serves your peace and wisdom. Let me tell you a story about a traveler. There was a man crossing a desert, carrying a very heavy bag. Inside the bag were stones that he thought would help him on his journey. But the heavier the load, the more exhausted he became, and his steps grew slower. Eventually, he realized that to continue, he had to leave behind the stones that were unnecessary. When he did this, he felt lighter, walked faster, and found shelter before the sunset. Monks, reflect on this. Are the things you carry in your mind like the stones that hinder your progress? Time waits for no one, monks. Each day that passes brings you closer to the end of this life. Therefore, live as if each day were your last. Do not let regrets, conflicts, or meaningless desires hold you back. Focus on what truly matters: compassion, understanding, and the path to liberation. Think of the lamp. When it burns, its light shines and brings benefit, but the oil inside gradually runs out. Your life is like that lamp. Instead of fearing the depletion, use your time to shine, to spread goodness. And when the lamp goes out, you will have no regrets, because the light you brought into the world made it a better place. Letting go does not mean abandoning everything. It means knowing how to select and keep what has meaning. Change is not an enemy. It is a friend that guides you to enlightenment. Let each moment of your life be complete, for only by cherishing the present can you truly live, rather than merely exist. Lesson 7. Lessons from difficulties. The Buddha sat in meditation for a moment, his eyes half closed as if listening to the heartbeat of the earth and sky. When he opened his eyes, his gentle gaze fell upon the monks, and his voice rang out like the sound of a bell in their souls. Monks, life is never without difficulties and challenges. They are important lessons that each person must face in order to grow and attain enlightenment. Remember, it is not the tall mountain that hinders your steps, but the small pebble in your shoe that hurts you with every step you take. The difficulty does not lie in the big things, but in the way you face them. Once, when I was still searching for the path, I walked through a forest full of thorns and dangers. My feet were pierced by thorns and bled, but I realized that these pains helped me feel more deeply the meaning of perseverance. If I had stopped because of fear, I would have been stuck in the forest forever. But if I persevered, my wounds would heal, and the path ahead would gradually open up. Monks in life, difficulties are not enemies, but teachers. They help you recognize your limits and overcome them. They teach you patience, perseverance, and humility. The challenges you face are not to punish you, but to refine you. If you understand this, you will no longer fear adversity. Let me tell you a story about a farmer. One year, a prolonged drought dried up the trees, and the crops failed. The farmer was distressed by the loss, But instead of despairing, he decided to use that time to improve the land, find underground water, and prepare better seeds. When the rains returned, his fields became more fertile than ever. Monks, difficulties are like that drought. They do not come to destroy you, but to prepare you for a bountiful harvest in the future. But remember, not every difficulty brings an immediate clear result. Sometimes you will experience loss without understanding why. Do not let your heart be buried in suffering. Learn to accept, for sometimes loss is necessary for you to find peace. Be like the potter, accepting the need to break a flawed pot in order to make a perfect one. Monks, every difficulty is an opportunity for you to understand yourselves, train your mind, and get closer to the path of liberation. If you see the light in the darkness, you will no longer be afraid. If you find meaning in suffering, you will no longer complain. Remember this, life is not measured by what you possess, but by how you face loss and challenge. When you overcome difficulties with a peaceful mind, you will discover true strength within yourselves. And at that moment, you will realize that peace is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to overcome them with compassion and wisdom. As the Buddha's teaching sank in, a profound silence filled the air. The monks bowed their heads, their hearts filled with gratitude and determination. They realized that the challenges they faced were not obstacles, but lessons that would bring them closer to liberation. Under the Buddha's light, they felt peaceful and hopeful, ready to face whatever life brought their way. Monks, life is a long and challenging journey, but it is also an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and attain enlightenment. Each lesson that we share today is like a precious gem that helps you understand more deeply the nature of life and the path to inner peace. Remember that everything in life is subject to change, and it is this very change that gives meaning to life. Do not fear difficulties or challenges, for they are opportunities for you to refine yourselves. Cherish each moment of the present, for it is all that truly belongs to you. Do not let time pass in vain. Monks, on the path of practice, always nurture compassion, understanding, and sincerity. Only when you live truthfully with yourselves, let go of what is unnecessary, and live fully in each moment, will you find true peace and happiness. Thank you for listening to my teachings. Let these lessons become the light that guides you on your path of practice and in your lives.